All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. So I know in the last episode I said just split with the Braves and we'll be fine. They did that, but I'm not happy about it. And I think I know the title of the episode. I think the title of the episode is gonna be "We Were 3 feet away from a sweep." Um, hello, welcome back, .NET Phillies. You know the thing. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Phillies. Well, they haven't officially split with the Braves, but I have no shot that they'll come back in the 11th because Rob Thompson has just a poorly managed this game. But we're as of now, in my mind, they split, and you will see a live reaction if they do split or if they win or whatever. But they split. It's what I asked for. And they look like, I also said look like you belong on the same field, and they did. It was a complete 180 from how they looked with the series last weekend, which is good. It was good to see that they bounced back. They look good, especially coming out of that Blue Jay series. They were kind of stumbling, but had momentum after the Veerling walk off, and they carried that momentum into the series with Atlanta, which is good. Good stuff all around. So let's get into it. Game one, they won 1-0. It was one of those classic pitching duels, and the first pitcher to make a mistake was the one who lost, which luckily was Max Fried, was not Ranger Suarez. Worked out of trouble in the first. He only threw 9 pitches in the first, which was pretty incredible. Which is great. A lot Ranger Suarez looks like himself again. And then the Phillies, the only run of the game was on small ball. JT singled, Segura beat the shift. JT goes first and third, and then Veerling hits a sac fly in the next at bat. So it was very small ball, great. Good to see them doing that. Suarez again looks like himself again. Looks like him, the guy we saw last year. With the 1 ERA and just looks like himself, which is great because we need him to. The wind really played a heavy factor into this. This game easily could have been a 3-1 Phillies win. Ozuna, after the Phillies got that run, hit a ball that I thought was 20 rows deep, but the wind blew it back in. And Schwarber, I think it was in the bottom of the 8th, had a home run that was taken away from the wind. So is what it is. Zach Eflin pitched in this game, and he looked fantastic. He went an inning and 2/3. He looked really great. He's been great ever since he's come back and to the bullpen. I'm worried about Bryce Harper. Yes, he homered last night, which was good, but we need him to be the guy. Like, we need him to pick things up. But we don't need him to be the guy. It would be great if he was the guy that we had last year, but this team is built for him not to be the guy. And that was kind of the main point of Dombrowski in the offseason. And so Harper didn't have to be the guy, because we saw that last year where he literally was the offense for the Phillies. I mean, geez, the Phillies had Ronald Torreyes and Brad Miller and God, it wasn't Odubel in the center, was it? Last year, maybe I can't remember, but it was bad. It was bad, like bad offense. Bad. Oh, Freddie Galvis was starting over Alec Boehm and Didi. And God, it was just bad. It was bad times in 2021. But yeah, and then Alvarado came in and shut the door, and he's just been so good. He is unreal about how good he is. So yeah, Phillies won 1-0. Player of the game was Ranger Suarez. Went 6 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Again, like I said, he looks like himself again. He looks like the guy that I can trust to take the ball every fifth day, which is good because for a while he wasn't, and I was worried. And I even said a few episodes ago, you shove him back in the bullpen once Wheeler came back, but obviously Thor went to the bullpen along with Eflin because Falter earned that spot, even though Falter was not great in his last start. But we'll get to him. Game two, they won 9-1. Huge. Offense came alive. Player of the game was Rhys Hoskins. He had a killer game. So Phillies, the worst thing in the world happened to the Phillies. They had bases loaded and nobody out. Oh no. For any other team, that's great. But for us, we're hitting like we're the worst hitting team with the bases loaded and nobody else. Like, statistically, look that up. Look that up if you don't believe me. They finally did it. Stott hits an absolute, like, nails it, and I thought it's gone. It was just a sac fly, but hey, 1-0. Vierling singled, 2-0. Hoskins with an RBI double. Hoskins homered in the fourth, 6-0. Bohm triples on an awful play by Harris the second, Michael Harris the second. In center, he went full Phillies on that one. 7-0. Marsh singled, 8-0, and then Harper had a sac fly, which made it 9-0. And then Nola is beating the narrative, has a 2.12 ERA in September. He looked great. Connor Brogdon looked great. But the main story here is Nola. Nola has been excellent this September. Nola has looked like himself. He's looked like the guy that we can trust to take the ball in big games and be Nola and be Aaron Nola, be the ace that we know he is, and be the guy that we can count on to give us good innings. Nick Nelson, 2 innings, picks, 2 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 2 strikeouts. I mean, that's about exactly what you need out of Nick Nelson. You know, a couple innings, a run, no runs if he can, but if he gives up a run, like, it's not that bad. And then Connor Brogdon, 2 strikeouts in an inning, looked like himself again. Like I mentioned, he looked like, hopefully, for the love of God, this leads to Brogdon being good. This leads to Brogdon. I'm sorry, I'm checking the score right now to see what we got in store. Hold on. It's loading. Oh yeah, there's no shot they're winning this game. Anyway, so I was so the title of the episode is going to be we're 3 feet away from a sweep. But yes, good game 2. Game 3 we lost, but there was positives in this game. There's also positives in this game. It was except a 37-year-old relief pitcher blew it for us because he's an idiot. And Rob Thompson, but we'll get to that. Bailey faltered early. I'm so sorry. You had to listen to that. I literally had I'm sorry in the jokes. It's a joke, but Falter honestly was due for a bad start. If you really look at his numbers since becoming a full-time starter, he's been really good, which we didn't expect from Bailey Falter, but he didn't. It wasn't like his stuff wasn't there and he was walking guys. Like his stuff was there. He just missed a few spots. That's it. Missed a couple spots. Led to the Braves hitting some homers. So it just is one of those things where it is what it is. I'm not worried about Bailey Falter at all because he did look fine. Again, he just missed some spots and that's going to happen to guys. Phillies were no hit until Bryce Harper hit a 2-run home run, which was great. He worked really good at bats in this game. And then Maton had a sac fly, made it 6-3. And here's a story. I was making dinner, and I was in my kitchen and I was, making chicken and whatever. And, I had the game on the TV and I saw, first and second and Hoskins is up and I'm like, okay, let's get crazy. Let's get nuts. Like what's going to happen here? And when he hit that ball, I was grabbing like my kitchen table chair and I was like, oh, and then it just foul pole and just foul ball, which I'm like, are you kidding me? And then he strikes out on the next pitch. And I knew the game was over at that point because that was like every team has like their opportunity, and that was the Phillies' opportunity, and they just, is what it is. But yeah, that sucked. But again, Phillies were I love the title of the episode. Phillies were 3 feet away from a sweep. Dominguez and Brogdon look like themselves again, which is huge. Because we need them. We need them down the stretch. We need them to be the guys we can count on, in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And we'll see. Because mind you, this was kind of garbage time at well, not necessarily. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong notes. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong notes. They were pitching in close games, and it was good that they kept it as close as they did. Because the bullpen pitched clean the entire game. They didn't give up a single run. In 6 1/3. No, 5 1/3. Yeah, 5 1/3. They didn't give up a run, which is great. Especially to a very, very good Braves offense. Falter went 3 and 2/3, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. So that's what I'm talking about. Like he just missed some of his spots and just got unlucky. So Bilotti went an inning and a third, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Brogdon had a walk, but other than that was fine. Dominguez gave up a hit and a strikeout. David Robertson, we're going to get to you because you're on the Brad Hand list, my friend, after what you did today. And Zach Eflin, another clean inning. I love Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin has been like, I'm so happy for him. I love Zach Eflin so much. I love him as a person, like his story, like everything that's gone on in his life. And I love seeing him succeed, especially in this new role, because it's not easy to go from the rotation to being a starter, but that's exactly what he's doing. So Zach Eflin's great. So now we'll move on to today's game. So today's game was kind of a mixed bag of things. Kyle Gibson continues his losers tour. I hate him. Gave up 6 earned runs today, which is just great because, because why wouldn't he? I was checking the score again. It's 8-7. That's probably going to be the final because, Rob Thompson doesn't know how to manage a extra inning game. So he gave up 6 runs. Offense kind of battled back. Schwarber had 2 home runs. Hoskins had a very good play at home. Then there was the rain delay. Phillies were up 5-4 at that point. Or was it 6-5? I think it was 6-5. I'm sorry. Going into the rain delay. There was about an hour, then they come back. And the first pitch, it was a 2-2 count to Brandon Marsh, and it was a 2-2 pitch, and he hit it to the wall. Segura tries to score from first, but is thrown out. And I would argue that he was actually safe at home, but they were ruled that there was no clear evidence that he was. And then Alvarado pitches a clean inning, and he looked filthy. And then David Robertson came into the game. And David Robertson gets the first 2 outs very quickly, then walks a guy, gives up a hit, and then intentionally walks a guy. Let me repeat that. Gets 2 outs, walks a guy, gives up a base hit, and then intentionally walks the next guy. You think that's bad? Okay, you with me? You still with me here? You still with me? Okay, you ready? He then, on a 0-2 pitch, decides to throw his curveball into the dirt, and it's a wild pitch. And then the Braves tie it. You with me here? You believe that happened? And then what does he do on the very next pitch? Throws it over for strike 3 and gets out of the inning. Isn't that great? Isn't that just awesome? Isn't that just the best idea in the world? Awesome, man. Tie game. Dominguez shuts it down. Eflin shuts it down. And then we get to the 10th. And this might be the most frustrating thing in the world. Dominguez looked really good in his inning of work, which is great to see. Same with Eflin. Here's what I don't understand. So Phillies go into the 10th. And it was Rhys Hoskins at second. And then Bryce Harper's up. So obviously they're going to walk Bryce Harper. Duh. You walk Bryce Harper. You then get to Alec Bohm. And Alec Bohm has a couple hits today. Why don't you bunt? Does that make sense? Why don't you bunt when you have first and second and you have Segura, you have JT pinch hitting right after. You have Brandon Marsh, who has a couple hits. You have Bryson Stott, who's put together good at-bats today. Just take one for the team. Boom. And I know it's not your call. I know it's Rob Thompson's call, but what are we doing? To which then Bohm strikes out, and then Gene Segura, like clockwork, it nearly hits into a double play. And then Brandon Marsh comes up, hits a little blooper, and of course, the left fielder Rosario makes a great play to end the inning. Then we get to the 11th, which Phillies get the first out. It was huge. It was a deep fly ball in the center. It was not a sac fly, but was able to get the Braves player over. And then Ronald Acuna Jr. comes up, who is, arguably one of the best players in baseball. He comes up. And instead of, there it is. Phillies just lost. So there we go. Bucket. The title now works. So here's what I don't understand. Acuna isn't walked. You have a runner on third, a base opened, but you don't walk him. Gets 0-2. Okay, Bilotti's in. He gets 0-2. Okay, throws him 3 fastballs. Okay, fouls one off. Gets, the other 2. And instead of going to the wipeout slider that Andrew Bilotti has, what did you go to? Oh, of course. Go to the fastball again. Duh. Go to your fastball again. Oh, shocker. Acuna hits it up the middle and the Braves take the lead. So, and then Bilotti gives up another run, and then, the Phillies are down by 2. They get a run back in the bottom of the 11th, but then they lose. What are we doing? This should have been 3 out of 4 easily if David Robertson could just do his job, and he didn't. Easily could have been 3 out of 4. And I know I said at the beginning of the episode and last week, I said split, and you did. But it should have been 3 of 4. It should have been. And I know I can't complain because Milwaukee lost today, so it's no harm, no foul. But, like, you can't lose that game. You can't lose that game. Like, yesterday, I can forgive because you guys fought back. You looked good. You looked like you were, like, in it. Like, you didn't just keel over and die when you guys were down 6-0. That's why I'm not mad about the third game. I figured they were going to lose one of these games, but today was unacceptable. They fought back. They went down. They fought back. They went down. They fought back and forth, back and forth. And then you finally get the lead and hold the lead. And you are 1 out away from going on to the 9th inning. And your closer gives up the run there on a wild pitch of all things. I'm just annoyed with that. I'm very annoyed with that. But it is what it is. They did exactly what I wanted them to do. They split. Should have been 3 out of 4. Also, before I forget, Brad Hand to the IL. Thank God. I hate Brad Hand. And somebody was recalled. God, professional podcaster here. Chris Devenski has been recalled in his place. Guy's just rocking a 7.59 ERA. It's no big deal, Give him the ball in the 9th inning. Any Hoosers on the Chicago. And mind you, this Cubs team swept us after the All-Star break. So easier said than done. We got Wheeler going up against Stroman. We got Aaron Nola against Wozniacki, and Suarez against the Sod. So please take 2 out of 3. Please take 2 out of 3. Next 10 are on the road. So this is it. This is go time here. You guys are in a position, you hold your own destiny. You got through the bad hump, the really, really hard. You went 3-6 in those 9 games, but it should have been 4-5. But you looked good during it. You fought back, you looked good. Please just don't fumble the bag here. Just please beat the teams you're supposed to. Like, I can't imagine them not making the playoffs at this point, especially, the back and forth they've had with Milwaukee, where the Phillies would lose and the Milwaukee would lose and Phillies win, Brewers win, like not gaining any ground on either one of them. So please just do that. I'm begging you, please. And I will be back on Thursday. I will be back on Thursday. Thursday night. I work until 4:45 and the game's not until 2:40. So I'll meet you guys then. Until then, thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys in the next one.